Hello, hello, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. We're going to be playing a different game today, called Her Story. It is a short game. It's an FMV game, so it has like videos of real people, and it's basically, I don't know too much, but I know that it is basically about like we are watching interview tapes of this woman and we're trying to solve like a murder that occurred, and like it all goes back to watching these interview tapes of this woman. um anyway, that's all I know. It says continue on the screen, but only because I went into the game to check the audio. Hopefully the audio is fine. I do have a notebook just in case I need to take notes. But I really like these kinds of games, so I'm really excited. It's a short game. It should just be like one single video. Like I think it's only 2 or 3 hours long, so let's do it. Let's continue. I don't know if I clicked it. Okay. So as you can see, I opened this one video and just like briefly listened to like 3 seconds to test the audio, but this is fine. First I want to do this here, the readme. So basically it's like we're on like a old-fashioned computer, and it, I think it's pretty cool. I'm excited. I'm gonna open this. Introduction to the Logic Database. Computer technology is the backbone of modern police work. The Logic Database is one of the many continuing efforts to digitize our workflow and preserve evidence in a manner which will allow you to work more efficiently. In the coming years, the computer will continue to be the most valuable item in your crime-fighting toolkit. I think this takes place either in the 90s or the early 2000s. At least that's what it looks like from the computer graphic. This database contains footage transferred from the existing homicide and serious crime tape archive at Portsmouth. Portsmouth? It has been automatically sorted using our ASR technology. Each statement made by the interview participants is stored separately so that they could be tagged for submission to court. The audio has been digitally stenographed, and the content of the testimony is attached to each clip. For some reason, my computer, sorry, it's making it louder on its own. I don't know why it's doing that. Okay. I think it's the headphones are doing it. I don't know why. Anyway, sorry. To retrieve a clip, type in a word, example, robbery, into the search field. Click search, and the database will return all clips in which the speaker uses that word. To narrow a search, use multiple words, example, robbery supermarket. If you are working from a printed transcript, you can be even more precise. Use inverted commas to search for exact match against the entire statement. Yes, I was there. Okay, so if I use correct grammar, I will get the right thing. To store a clip for later reference, click Add to Session. Also, if you wish to add additional tags of your own to help future searches, please click in the User Tags box and type in your desired tags. For any further assistance, please contact your department's Information Technology representative. Cool. So if I have to take notes, I'm gonna write them down. I remember things better if I write as opposed to if I type. I guess that's the millennial in me. And this one says, really read me. Hey, here's the database. I filed a Freedom of Information form to get you guest access. Everything seems to work. They transferred the videos off the original tapes in 1999, and then the Y2K thing hit and they got mothballed. No one has touched them since. I couldn't find the server with the detective's footage on. Possibly those tapes got damaged when the archives were flooded in 97. But I figured this would be enough. Take your time. Okay. So when I went in here, it already had search term murder in here, so I just clicked search and these 4 videos popped up. So I think we should start by watching these. I'm curious about like all the other things. Like, what is this? Huh. 16/6/24. Huh. Okay. Is there anything in the garbage? Oh, there is. What is this? Hack mirror game. The Cracker Cyber Ghost. One for the moms here. Classic two-player strategy for lunchtime gaming. Oh, creepy. Cracks with class. So in the trash is like a game hack. And it has this game in here. I don't know if I want to do that quite yet. I'm gonna leave it. We're gonna watch this first video here and we'll see what we're dealing with. I don't know who died. I don't know what happened, but it's literally just interview clips of this woman and they're all like staggered. So we have to determine like what happened throughout these staggered things. All right. It's only 11 seconds long. From 1994. I was not even born yet.
You think it's murder? I mean, clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
Okay. So I'm guessing she's clearly like the key part in this. Whoever died, I don't know who died, but it must have happened at or around June 27th, 1994. I'm guessing, because this seems like the very first one. Like, what can I do? She's like, what can I do to help? You know? Huh. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Let's watch the next one. This one is a few days later, July 1st. I have a hard time. Listen, I'm American. Clearly, and usually like when I see this date I automatically think January 7th, 1994, but I know like because it is British, it's July 1st, so if I accidentally get that wrong or if it takes me a long time, that's why.
Yeah, that's me. But February, I mean, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder?
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna take note. So Simon was murdered. So it's Simon. He was murdered. And something happened in February that it seems important because they're showing it to her and like she's like, yeah, that's me. February, like something happened. What it is, I don't know, but I think he was probably, I'm guessing died June 94. I'm writing that down, but I don't know if that's actually the case. 7 seconds. These don't help me when they're so short. Something's pulling on me. Okay.
I didn't murder Simon. You've got it wrong. You've got the wrong person.
So they think it's her. Whoever she is, I don't know what her name is. Did she say her name? Like, what is her name? But they think it's her. So a few days later, they're like, they think it is her. So these two are from the same day. So this is like a half hour before this one.
I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other. Just that. Stories.
Huh. So 30 minutes after they were like, you did this, she's like, I want a lawyer now. Huh. I'm lost. Okay. So that was all stuff about murder. Huh. Should we search something else? February, maybe? Huh. There is one here. So this is the one when she mentioned February.
Well, I don't know. I probably had to pop out and get something. That's why I was speeding. And that wouldn't have been noted on my timesheet. But I really can't remember back to February.
Speeding.
You must be desperate for leads if you're getting hung up over 6-month-old speeding tickets.
Speeding ticket. No. Okay. Simon? Okay. 61 entries found. Access limited to first 5 entries. Okay. So Simon is the guy who was killed.
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things. Really beautiful things.
Okay. That seems like something I should have to search eventually.
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. I bought a photo. They said I should bring a photo. This was taken last year on holiday in Rome. It's the best one I have.
Okay. Huh. I'm writing down what I think might be keywords, so that's what I'm doing.
It's the Rockington Arms, the Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with, and the barmaid they're having sometimes, Helen. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
What'd they say her name was? I'm sorry. I'm gonna play it again only because I don't
It's
remember
the
what she said her
Rockington
name
Arms,
her name was.
the Rock.
Heather?
It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan.
Peter and
There's
Susan.
some other regulars there that Simon likes to drink with, and the barmaid they're having sometimes, Helen.
Helen, not Heather.
Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
So like I feel like what we have to do is we have to listen for keywords and then try to piece the story together that way. So like I'm like writing down names and all these things. I don't know if it's gonna I have no idea what to expect. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yes, there's an Amstrad one. No one uses it for very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it. Simon sometimes plays games, you know, climb the tower, save the princess, that kind of thing.
What does that have to do with anything? Games? He plays games. He goes to this bar called The Rock.
Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something to him, or there must have been some kind of accident. So what do we do next?
Like, what is her relationship to Simon? Like, is she a friend? Like, what is she to him? Alright, I don't know. Put that there. Okay. Let's do... We could try... the glass thing that she was talking about. Maybe if I put in his full name, I could get something different. Simon Smith. No, okay. Let's do the glass thing. Ernst Brothers Glass. No? Huh. Interesting. Glass? Okay, okay. I got more stuff.
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach, past his hip. Cut himself with some glass. That was before, a long time ago. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off for the camera. But he needs them to see properly, you know. He has to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not book so much, or watching TV. He likes TV.
That's a little weird. Only because If he needs his glasses to read a menu at a restaurant, why wouldn't he need them to read a book? Am I just like nitpicking? If he's farsighted, which he seems to be, he wouldn't need it for the TV, but he would need it for a book. Whereas like I'm the opposite. I'm nearsighted. I don't need it to read a book, but I need it to look to see the TV and stuff because I can't see far away. That seemed weird, but that might just be me nitpicking. But like, am I supposed to nitpick everything? How do I solve this? Like, what do I do when I solve it? I have no idea. Okay, this is a different one.
It wasn't the present so much. It was one of those arguments that had been simmering for a while. The present was a mirror.
Mirror?
A nice mirror. He'd engraved the glass, the kind of mirror a princess would have in a story. He made it specially for me.
Especially for you. Well, like, this is what I'm like, what is their relationship? Like, because, like, she's like, he made it, it's like a mirror for a princess. He made it specially for me. Huh.
Well, on his clothes, that would make sense. He made it. By hand. I mean, he brushes the silver onto the glass. It's not how they make mirrors these days. I mean, he made the mirror. And he gave it to me.
See, like, see the way she's talking about him? She's, like... I don't want to jump to conclusions. It seems like she has, like, a crush on him or something, at least.
No. I've had enough coffee for today, thanks. Glass of water.
Huh. Okay. Wonder if I should search the mirror? Okay, yeah. Maybe go more in the mirror.
My name is Hannah. H-A-N-N-A-H. It's palindrome.
Yes, I can see that.
Backwards as forwards.
I know what a
It doesn't
palindrome
work
is.
for mirror though. It's not quite symmetrical, but well, I mean, you get the idea. Sorry. Hannah Smith. I live at 31 Gladstone Street.
Oh, Hannah Smith. Is she his wife? So it seems like she's his wife. And she's like... She's obsessed with this mirror. She's like, even her name is a mirror. So I think she's his wife.
The mirror. I can't remember. I put it somewhere safe. Upstairs, I think. I haven't looked at it since.
I don't know. What do you think? Do you think she killed him?
Silverleaf? No. He normally silvers them properly. This mirror, it's supposed to look antique. The reflection isn't as good. It's the perfect mirror for someone who doesn't like to look at their own reflection.
Okay. So she's super insecure. I don't blame her. Same. But so she's his wife, I think. Maybe I should search her name. Anna. Oh, she's attached to a lie detector test over there. We'll get to that in a second. I'll talk more about it. Let's watch this one first. She seems to be in distress over here.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
Eve. she doing with her fingers there? She's doing something with her fingers there. Not like Morse code, is it? Because I don't know that. Eve. Okay, interesting. So here's where she's attached to the lie detector. I don't know. Listen, lie detectors, all they really do is measure your heart rate. And like, if you're like a nervous person like I am, your heart's always beating fast. They like, all it does is how it determines if you've told a lie is like if there's a spike in your heart rate. But like, is it really that accurate? That's the thing. Like, I don't know if they're that accurate.
Yes, my name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Why is she saying sorry? Is her name not Hannah Smith? She says that, but like, why was she like, oh, I made a mistake? Huh. What if I add that to... Oh. What is this for? Like, what am I doing here? What is this for? How do I... Oh. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, this one's long.
Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence. When Hannah was born, I was born at the same time.
Huh?
The midwife was there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead. But I wasn't. She wrote all this stuff in a diary. Amazing what people will admit to on paper.
Wait, what? Wait, what was that? Hello? Did you see that? Wait. She's not Hannah? So she had a twin that was called Hannah. One died in childbirth, the other did not. Her. So who is she? The music changed. I'm gonna add that over there, because I feel like that's important. I feel like maybe she's Eve. Hannah and Eve. And like I don't want to make an assumption yet. Maybe?
She recognized me from the window. She told me to come inside, and she hid me. They had made the attic into a place where Hannah could play. There was a dollhouse. She hid me up there. No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place.
Whoa, that's freaky. Like, so like my first thought is that she's clearly had some kind of messed up childhood, right? I can't help but wonder, like, is it some kind of DID situation? I don't know yet. We've only been doing this for I don't know how long. I don't know. But she introduces herself sometimes as Hannah. Like in here, she was like, oh no, wait, that's not me, kind of thing. And then in here, she talks about Hannah as her twin sister who died. I'm guessing in childbirth, I'm assuming. Or maybe not. I'm gonna listen to this one again, actually.
Across the road, where my parents first lived there, was a midwife called Florence. When Hannah was born, I was born at the same time. The midwife was there to help. I'd been throttled by the cord, probably wrapped around my neck by Hannah. The midwife told my mother I was dead. But I wasn't. She wrote all this stuff in a diary. Amazing what people will admit to on paper.
Whoa, that's so freaky. So I think, Or maybe not. Maybe Hannah didn't die. And it's just like there was always two, or maybe I don't know. I'm gonna listen to this one again. Sorry, I know I'm listening to them twice. I'm sorry.
She recognized me from the window. She told me to come inside, and she hid me. They had made the attic into a place where Hannah could play. There was a dollhouse. She hid me up there. No one else ever went into the attic. It was her place.
So she's talking about how she was hidden. See, because the way she's acting, I'm going to add this here as well. The way she's acting here is so much different than how she is in these videos here. Like her presence, her demeanor and stuff. It's very different than when she was like really freaking out over here. This was June 30th. This was July 3rd. So this was around the time they started being like, you did this. And she's like, I want a lawyer. So she was talking about how she was hidden, like the mother hid her, or was like, because then she's like, it's her space, which I would assume was Hannah, because she's like, it has Hannah's dollhouse. I'm gonna search the midwife's name. Florence. Sorry, I'm typing with one hand. Okay, so there's more of these.
Florence took me home with her. Mother hadn't been expecting twins and had a healthy baby. I guess she was just happy for Florence to clean up. Take away the evidence that this was anything but a happy occasion.
What? Oh, God, that scares me every time. It's so freaky. Wait, so Florence, the midwife, took one of the children? So she had twin girls. Twin girl. I'm assuming the other girl is Eve, but we'll see. So the midwife took one of the children? She had one healthy child, and that's all she want. That's so weird. I'm just writing keywords here that I could search later. Interesting.
Florence raised me in her home. I never left it. She kept me out of sight. It wasn't odd for people to see a midwife with a baby, carrying in supplies, washing nappies, that sort of thing. I never knew any different. I grew up looking out of my window and seeing her across the road. I thought it was like a reflection in the mirror. She was me.
She was me. So the midwife lived across the road and took one of the children with her, and the other one lived with the actual mother? Why? It's weird. It's very weird. Okay. Add that in there, I guess.
Florence was a warm, kind person. But she was broken, I guess. When I found her diary, I also found a biscuit tin with other stuff in it. Older papers, letters, that kind of thing. Her story was in there. I never really spoke to her about it. I was far too young to really understand. I guess I just put it together later, once I was older. She had loved children, planned to have a large family, but her husband died in the war. And that was back when you married for life. She never felt like she could marry again. That's strange. She was a widow from her 20s. But, I mean, I guess it was different then. You know, you married for life and she felt she could never marry again. I guess it was harder, a war widow. One of the dead. I don't know, maybe there was more to it than that. I don't really know.
This is so weird. I'm like, what? Alright.
No. It was just me and her.
Florence, I'm guessing she's talking
It was
about.
the name they were going to call their first child. They talked about it and were going to try when he came back. Florence's family had a history of firstborn girls, so they were convinced it was going to be a girl. It's hard to know if this is all true. These are stories I remember, that I read when I was a child. Maybe I misread, maybe I misunderstood. Sometimes it's hard to remember what happened last week.
So, Eve was what Florence the midwife was going to name her first child. Okay. Weird. So, I want to look up, there are a few things I want to look up now. Like, I want to look up Eve. I want to look up the diary. And the attic. For now. Let's do Eve. Okay. So this is from the day where she was like, oh, why did I tell them about Eve? I think that's what she said.
Well, my friend Eve. I mean, she was a friend from when I was a kid. And she was always more popular with the boys, and I used to hate her for it. I mean, really hate her sometimes.
Huh. Jealous of Eve. This is so weird. And like, what's her actual name?
Yes. We'd fight. We fought on the beach once, and I held Eve's head underwater.
Huh?
There was no one else around. It was at the far end of the beach, and I held her head under, and I kept it out.
What?
And for a moment, I just wanted to kill her and watch her drown.
What?
But that was it. It was just a moment. We were made up after. It was a love-hate relationship.
That's not normal. Okay. So is Eve's Florence... Wait, but... If Eve can't be Florence's child because the husband died. I'm confused. I'm gonna look up War Widow next, I guess. She's talking about Eve as Eve existed. But did Eve exist?
A police station. Yeah. When I was young. We ran away on my birthday. Bob Dylan was playing in London, and we thought we could break into his tour bus and have him take us with him. The taxi driver we paid to drop us off. I mean, we'd saved money, pinched a bit here and there to pay for the fare. He was suspicious because we were so young, so he told the police. So they came and picked us up and took me back to Portsmouth. My mum picked me up from the station. But I blamed everything on my friend Eve, so my parents let me off.
Huh. Huh.
My mother called me Eve.
My mother called me Eve. What? My mother... I'm writing this down, sorry. Called me Eve. Huh. What do I do with these? What can I do with them? Can I search again and then get the other entries? No, I'm just limited to these. Oh, it has things in here. Oh, is this what I did? This is probably just what I did. Video subtitles. Whoa. I kind of like it like this. I know it's kind of like weird, but I don't know. I kind of like it like this. Like it makes it feel like I'm really, you know, Eve. What if I look up twin? I kind of want to watch this one first. Because this one's from the same as all these, where she seems very different. She seems like a different person.
There were always princes and princesses. They were the special people, more important than the other characters in their stories. We knew we were like that. Twins. Magical. We were the princesses. We had a poster of Princess Diana from the newspaper up in our attic. Had a pride of place. And underneath we used to put all our special things. When her engagement was announced, we were obsessed with everything she did. And later, when her life went so bad, we felt for her. Her divorce last year just kind of drew a line under things.
Huh. Okay. Interesting. So this is the day before all of this stuff. So, twin. I don't know. I'm just adding things. I don't know what to do with them.
Twins? Really? Are you really asking me that question?
Huh.
Are you out of your mind? Twins?
Twins. Oh, there's definitely twins going on here. If I add an S, would it give me different stuff? No, okay, it's the same. Let me look up. So, I still feel like Eve is the twin, but I could be wrong. Like, I think one's Hannah, one's Eve. I'm gonna look up that's not how you spell widow. Or widow. No, it's just the one. Okay. Midwife? No. Hidden. I don't know. Princess. She's mentioned princess multiple times. She mentioned feeling like a princess about the mirror that Simon made for her. And then she's mentioned that she and I'm guessing her twin sister are princesses. I don't know though. Let's see, I guess.
Let me see. Yes. I drove in here because I remember well I went over the river. And then there was a church. There. Yeah. And I probably parked. Well, I remember seeing a street sign called Princess Street. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it must be this one. There.
So that's her giving her alibi, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Oh, she has a tattoo.
We were 17. It was a nice wedding, people said. Simon looked very handsome in the photos. His parents paid for everything, but he's an only child, so it was important to them. It was what they called a shotgun wedding, but if you looked at the photos, you couldn't tell. The dress was beautiful. It looked like Princess Diana's. The train wasn't quite as long, though. There's a great photo of the bridesmaid helping to carry it out of the car.
She doesn't say help me carry it out of the car. So like I can't help but wonder if, like, she's actually married to Simon or not. Simon was married to somebody. But they mentioned Princess Diana a lot, too. Princess.
We were obsessed with fairy tales. Not just the pretty ones, but the traditional ones. They were dark and real, bizarre and violent. Felt like life. We had this huge old book that I think Mum must have bought from a library sale. The illustrations had thin tracing paper over them to protect them. They were in colour, shiny plates. At the front of the book was an index of illustrations. We read that more than the actual stories. We'd read aloud the captions and flip between the pictures. There was something intimate about peeling back the tracing paper, undressing the pictures.
Okay.
Rapunzel's hair is cut. The eagle plucks out his heart. The princess pricks her finger.
What is this? Database checker. What is this? Clicking things, but I don't know what it does. Volume missing. Find the server. The detector's footage tape got damaged. But I figured this would be enough. Sorry, I'm just re-looking at this to see what I'm supposed to do with this information. Okay. She says we a lot. Can I just search we? Oh, I can. 64 entries found. She says we a lot. Like, she's always referring we. Like, so I'm assuming she means her and the twin, but...
So, it was Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on the Saturday afternoon. They had a job. He didn't show. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock, that's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. He still wasn't back this morning. It just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come and see you. His parents haven't heard anything either.
So she's talking about Simon there. So Simon was last seen on Friday. They'd had an argument and he left. He was supposedly going to go see Eric. They had a job, but he didn't go. No.
I mean, yes, we have arguments, but he never runs off. He always comes back. We make up. It's always that way.
Okay. So here it sounds like she is married to him, but in other times it sounds like she's not. Like, it sounds like she wants to be, but she's not. You know, does that make sense?
A long time. We got married when I was 17.
17. Yeah, I wrote that down too. Wedding, 17. See, like, I don't know, like, because clearly, like, here, like, she's married to him. But there are other instances where it just sounds like she isn't, and she just wants to be. You know what I mean? And she's... I don't know. I'm so confused.
No, not drugs. I mean, he drinks, but never very much. He goes to the pub and has one or two. Sometimes we go together. He drinks wine with food, but no, he doesn't have any kind of drinking problem.
Oh yeah, I haven't searched up the bar name yet. I got so invested in the twin thing. Like, I wrote down the name of the bar a while ago and just never looked it up.
Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier,
Cavalier.
and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked in the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. I can look for you when I get back.
Okay. Do they have a Cavalier and they have a van, work van? His work, Simon's work. Alright, I think I'm gonna do the bar, because there was the name of the bar, the people who own the bar, the names of them, and then the barmaid, Helen, that I could do. It's called Rockington. That's not how you spell arms. The Rock, maybe? That's what she also called it. Yeah. So this is the bar. It's also called the Rock, where he frequented.
I don't know.
Or pub, I guess.
I guess the Rock. We've spoken to everyone there. Someone must have seen where he went. I don't know. So many things could have gone wrong.
So it seems like after the argument, he most likely would have went to the Rock. So we can look up the names of all those people. Peter, Susan, Helen.
No, no one has been in the last few weeks. We had a plumber come in 3-4 weeks ago. Someone Simon knew from the Rock.
Peter and Susan. Just do Peter. Susan? No. Helen. There's another one.
No. I think he spoke to Helen. She said he was upset about our argument, but I'm not sure what else he said. He likes Helen. He likes blondes.
He likes blondes? You're a brunette, my girl. Why would you say that? He likes Helen. He likes blondes. He's blonde, too. I wrote that down for some reason. What if I just look up blonde? Why does she have a guitar? Girl!
Could the hairs have come from somewhere else? I mean, could they... We have a lot of dolls in the attic. There's a Rapunzel doll with long blonde hair. Could they have come from there?
Ooh, so she was found with blonde hairs. He has blonde hair. Because she was saying that he's blonde and he doesn't grow his beard because his beard grows in ginger. And he doesn't like that. You also gotta learn about the attic, the hidden away, but that's all back to the twin thing.
This other person doesn't exist. I don't know what the blonde wig is, but it could be anything.
What?
Have you looked at the cat flap?
Cat flap? What is that? What is a cat flap? Cat flap? I don't know what a cat flap is. Okay, so supposedly the police found blonde hairs. She's like, it could just be the dolls or a blonde wig. Maybe I should write wig. She has a guitar here.
You want me to play something?
Not really, but you're going to, aren't you?
I'm not the world's greatest guitar player. Okay.
Guitar.
Probably needs tuning. No, it's okay. How about a traditional ballad? Should be right up your street. Sisters came walking by the sea. Oh, the wind and the rain. The eldest one pushed the other one in. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So they both had a love for the captain's son, oh, the wind and the rain. But he only cared for the youngest one, all the dreadful wind. Oh, the eldest envied her sister fair, oh, the wind and the rain, with a pretty little face and her long blonde hair, oh, the dreadful wind and rain. So she pushed her in and held her down. Oh, the wind and the rain watched her as she slowly drowned. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Oh, she floated up and she floated down. Oh, the wind and the rain floated till a ship came by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. Out comes the captain's son. Oh, the wind and the rain. Father dear, here swims and swan. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And then it gets really weird, so I think that's a good place to stop.
Then it goes weird? It's already weird, my girl. So that seems... Oh. I got an achievement for that. It seems that story is very similar sounding to what she talked about when she held Eve under the water and tried to drown her and wanted to drown her. So it seems like there's two of them. One is really jealous, clearly. Because the other one, they both love the same guy, which I'm guessing is Simon. He chose one over the other. Oh, man. I'm curious about the guitar. Like, I don't know. There's a twin thing going on. There's a sister thing. Somebody, like, they might both be dead. Not just Simon.
No. No, Simon didn't play guitar. He wasn't very musical.
You are, though.
He liked to listen, but he was tone deaf.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah, it's my guitar.
Huh. Wig. Like, they had talked about wigs, the blonde wig in here, and she was like... Because supposedly the police found blonde hairs or something. Maybe she...
The wig? You mean... What type of wig?
Blonde? Because she mentioned in the song, one sister is blonde with beautiful blonde hair. I can't help but think, like, she got a blonde wig and impersonated her twin sister because they look the same, other than the hair, I'm assuming. And that's what... I don't know.
No, I've never worn a wig. What kind of wig?
She's asking that twice. What kind? What kind of wig?
No. The parents decided there would be a wedding.
Wedding?
After the wedding, Hannah moved in with his parents. There was no way I could follow. So we were separated again. I stayed in the attic. It was hard. It's like I suddenly didn't exist. I would sneak out, but in case anyone recognized me, I started wearing a wig. Hannah and I would meet up in the park. I was trying to get pregnant.
What?
But I couldn't.
With
I
whom?
couldn't do it with anyone we knew, so it was sex with strangers. Drunk guys I'd met in clubs, parks and alleyways.
Ew.
I was 17. It felt like I was being punished. But it was Hannah who had betrayed us. I had to stop when one of the guys gave me an STD. When we met up, it was disturbing. For the first time, my reflection, she didn't look like me. She was fatter, flushed. If anything, I was getting skinnier. I found it hard to look sometimes. We talked about what to do. Was it time to become our own people? I mean, that seemed like the right thing to do, but neither of us wanted it. We agreed that her and Simon would get their own place as soon as possible, and then I could move in. And that was the plan.
So, it does seem like Hannah was married to Simon. But is she Hannah? Because sometimes she says she is Hannah, and there are times like in this interview where she's wearing this outfit on the July 3rd. She's not Hannah, and she's, I'm guessing, the twin sister. This is bizarre. So she's mentioned weddings many times. I'm gonna look up wedding next, probably. I feel like I'm all over the place, but then again, so was this story, so.
This was about 9. I went round and she was waiting for me. She was furious and so angry, the kind of anger you can only have towards yourself. We screamed at each other, argued, cried, we fought. I hit her back, left a bruise. I had my wig on from performing, she tore it off. Eventually, we grew tired of fighting and I left.
What? Like, this is a very weird wedding. I don't know if this is significant. This is probably has like absolutely nothing to do with anything, but I can't help but notice like there are times when she has the bangs back and then she has them down, like, because in this she seems like a completely different person than she is in these other videos. They seem like different people. I don't know if it's significant or not. Probably not. I'm probably grasping at straws here.
I guess you could call it that, but we were both happy to get married. It was a beautiful wedding. We had our first dance to Come Back and Stay. I'm not sure if that's a good wedding song, but I loved it. I chose it. I mean, it was genuinely our first dance. We'd never danced together before. It was probably awful to watch, but I enjoyed it. It felt like it was just me and Simon for that moment. Just the two of us.
See here, she's like, she's married to Simon. Whereas in these ones, she's saying Hannah was married to Simon. Hold on, can I just really quick just glance at this? Only because I just want to see if she's wearing her engagement ring, or wedding ring here. She's not.
Across the road, where my parents first lived there,
So
was a
she's not wearing a ring here, whereas in other ones, like this one, I think here she's wearing a ring. Like I've noticed in some of the videos she does wear it. Maybe it's this one. Yeah, see, she's wearing it.
We were 17.
She's wearing it
It
here.
was a nice wedding.
And I'm assuming she's wearing it here, but she has her left hand down, so you can't tell.
We spent the wedding night in a hotel in Brighton. It would have been too much to do more. We were saving for the baby. It was wonderful to be in a hotel, away from home, just alone together. Since then, we've always tried to get away for our holiday.
See, she's wearing a ring here.
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste.
Diane.
That time, you must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then.
Glasgow. So that she's going over her alibi. I'm gonna look up. She mentions being 17 like 8,000 times. I'm just gonna do that.
I did. Well, we met when we were 17, both working at the Glaziers.
The Glaziers. What is that? Okay.
No, I was 15. Carl was older.
Carl?
17, I think. I was really into him, regardless of how he actually behaved. Lots of drunken teenage sex.
Okay. I don't need to know
We did it in
that.
church once. It's stupid. So he got tired of us and we split up after about 6 months. It was sad, but those early experiences, they help you realise who's really important to you, you know? Family.
Family. See, she does have a tattoo, which is interesting. Like, I feel like they have, it's on display. But in most of the other ones, wait. Can I look at this? Where's her tattoo?
Well, we met when we were 17, both
What?
working at the Glaziers.
Where's your tattoo? Wait. She didn't have a tattoo in those ones. Wait.
Oh, my tattoo. I got it to express my individuality. It's an apple and a snake.
Is it? Apple and a snake. I feel like Hannah doesn't have a tattoo. Eve does. Because she has a tattoo here. In the ones where she's wearing a long sleeve, you can't tell. But here, her attitude is kind of similar to the way she was here when she was talking about, like, she's not Hannah. But then in those ones where she's talking about how she's our wedding with Simon, she doesn't have the tattoo.
So I moved out. Got a small bed sit. Got my tattoo to mark the occasion. I was singing in a bar in the evenings, so I had some money, enough money to cover my rent. And I've been doing something similar ever since. I haven't put down any roots. I don't exist.
I don't exist. I don't. Like, that's crazy. She has a tattoo here, and she didn't have in the other videos.
He saw me singing one of my shows. Pure chance. Not sure I remember what he was even doing there. Afterwards, I had a drink at the bar and he came over and we got talking. I knew who he was. Obviously I knew who he was. But he didn't know who I was. He was fascinated by the likeness. He guessed my name from my tattoo. Told me it was a palindrome, like that would impress me. I enjoyed talking to him. It was amazing to be able to sit and interact and talk to him after all this time. He didn't tell me he was married. I'm not sure what he was thinking. He later told me it was like he was dreaming. A waking dream.
Huh. So it does seem like... So, she's talking about palindromes. I'm gonna look that up next, but Eve is also a palindrome. So Eve and Hannah are both palindromes. So I think Simon is married to Hannah. He went to this bar, he saw her singing at the bar, and he was amazed by the likeness. He guessed her name by the tattoo of an apple and a snake, which has to do with the Garden of Eden. She's Eve. So Eve and Hannah are twins. She already knew who he was. He met her and he was like, wow, the likeness. They both have palindrome names, which was mentioned as Hannah and Eve, both. So it seems like he cheated on his wife with her twin. So clearly she's Eve. She just said it, like, she said, he got my name from the tattoo. She mentioned before the tattoo was an apple and a snake. Has to do with the Garden of Eden. Her name is Eve. Interesting. Did I spell it wrong? How do you spell palindrome? I don't know. Back into tattoo. I think it was this one she mentioned it. Sorry, I don't know how to spell palindrome. Palindrome, sorry. I'm stupid. Oh, it's only a couple times. So... what's clear to me is that there's twins, twin girls, Hannah and Eve. She's Eve. The girl who had her hair back and didn't have the tattoo is Hannah.
When she went home, Simon had a birthday tea waiting. Afterwards, she told Simon about me, told him I was pregnant. She wanted me to move in with them, this sister.
Wait, sorry, I'm making her stop only because is she pregnant with Simon's baby? Eve. Is Eve pregnant with Simon's baby? Because it seems like he cheated on Hannah with Eve at the bar.
You didn't know she had. She knew that instant. The look on his face.
Wait. So, Hannah wanted to help out her sister who was pregnant and let them move in. And then she noticed the look on Simon's face. So, I think maybe that's when she realized, like, my sister's pregnant with my husband's baby.
She sent him out the house, kicked him out, called me up, crying, and I went round. I guess I had a feeling I could hear something was wrong in her voice, but I wasn't sure what it was. She called me sister on the phone. She never calls me that.
Hmm.
My sister is gone. And she's never coming back.
My sister is gone and she's never coming back? Bro. Like, is there more with Eve? We watched them all. See, like, this is not Eve. This is Hannah. Because, look, there's no tattoo.
What are you doing talking about Eve?
She's doing something with her fingers there. I can't figure out what it is she's doing, but clearly it's something. Likeness? No, it's just the one. I'm gonna look up pregnant. There are quite a few things. She's mentioned being pregnant, and I'm assuming that Eve, not this one, because there's no tattoo, the one with the tattoo, is pregnant with Simon's child. But Simon is married to Hannah.
I got pregnant.
Oh, you too?
Both our parents had a big powwow. We weren't even in the room. And they decided we should get married.
So they're both pregnant at the same time?
Yes, I'm fine.
She's wearing a ring.
I won't be sick again. This happens some days. I'm pregnant.
This is Hannah.
This morning sickness.
Huh. So they're both pregnant. I mean, Eve had mentioned, she's like, I'm trying to get pregnant on purpose. Like, sleeping with random guys in alleys and bars and all these things. And then she's like, I had to stop. But then she's like, she is pregnant. Huh.
No. Well, yes. He found out on my birthday. I told him I was pregnant.
On her birthday. When is her birthday? That probably has nothing to do with anything. Wondering when her hair... I don't know if the hair has anything to do with anything.
It's Rapunzel. The story starts when she's born.
Rapunzel was mentioned many
Mother
times.
Gothel, a witch, takes Rapunzel from her parents and keeps her locked up in this tower. Rapunzel gets pregnant by the prince, and Mother Gothel is furious, so she cuts off her hair and throws it. Actually, her hair's already short here, so that's already happened. So she throws her into the wilderness, and Rapunzel is reunited with the prince, who's blind, but she kills him with her tears, and so it's a happy ending. Is that too much?
Huh. Rapunzel's story. I got an achievement for that.
When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. But when I told him I was pregnant, he made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine. The hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the car.
I'm gonna look up, like, I still have to look up, like, the attic and the diary and all those things about Eve. But, like, I keep going to other things. It's just so much stuff.
Ask the hospital.
Ask the hospital. Okay, that was not helpful.
I don't see how it's hard. We've established I was in Glasgow when he was killed. You've spoken with the hospital?
Alright, I think I'm gonna... I have to look up Glasgow, too. Glasgow? Is that how it's spelled? Her hair's changing a lot. Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes it's pushed back, and now here it's down, and then it's up again. And it's not that long in between all these hair changes are happening.
I got in the car and I drove. I just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped, I was all the way up in Glasgow. I was so tired. I just had to sleep.
I feel like one of them definitely killed him. I think it was Eve. Eve seems like...
Yes. I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from the payphone, and then headed back.
Payphone.
No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning.
Okay, Car. She's talking about car a lot. This is her alibi.
I wasn't in the house all of Friday night. After the argument, after Simon left, I left too. I was upset and I wanted to get away, so I took the car.
And then supposedly she went up to Glasgow.
I left the next day, Saturday. I slept for a few hours in the car. When I woke up, I came straight back. Simon wasn't returning my calls and I wanted to try and make up. I got back to the house and Simon wasn't there, and I... Is there a bin?
Oh, no, I don't want to hear that. Oh, God, they could have cut that out. Why'd they do that to me?
Yeah, I pulled over and slept in the car. This was just by the side of the road. I was exhausted.
Saturday was when he was missing.
It was late. Early Saturday morning.
Okay, that didn't help me.
A week or so ago. It would have been the Saturday before my birthday. You know, I get like that on the weekends, have a lie-in, then want to get up and blitz the house.
Okay, so when she wears the ring, she's Hannah. When she's not wearing the ring, she's Eve. Birthday.
Yes, that's my birthday. Not one of the big ones, but I guess you can see that. It was my birthday, like you said. We were going to have a meal at home. We had our meal. He gave me his present. I guess I didn't like the present.
You guess? What do you mean you guess? How do you not remember? Present.
From when I woke up. Okay. I woke up. Simon was already up and he made me birthday breakfast of eggs Benedict. We both had to go to work, so we saved presents till later. I got to work, had some birthday cake, children sang me happy birthday. Then I came home. The birthday meal was a takeaway. And Simon gave me his present, which I didn't mind. And after that, we talked about the baby. It turned into a big argument. Simon left. I was furious. I wanted to get as far away as I could and get some space to think. So I left.
Wait, she just said she didn't mind the present, but here she was like she did mind it. I guess I did mind the present. Isn't that what she said?
It was my birthday, like you said. We were going to have a meal at home. We had our meal. He gave me his present. I guess I didn't like the present.
I guess I didn't like the present. That was on the 25th, and on the 27th, she's like, I did like it. present was the mirror, right? So this is a... So I'm pretty sure this is Hannah. This is Eve. They're very different.
About 8 years back, it was a present to myself. I shouldn't even be drinking coffee with the baby. It's been hard trying to give it up. I think they say you can have 1 cup.
See, like, the demeanor is so different.
Her story is that she'd waited for him to come back. She put on my wig, some of my clothes, pretended to be me. They talked. She'd enjoyed being me. He said he wanted to be with me. Then he took out a present. Another mirror. Just like the one he'd given her earlier. That unique present. She went crazy, smashed the mirror. They argued, screamed. He hit her. So she grabbed a piece of the mirror and just swung it round. She cut his throat clean open.
What?
She'd only meant to scare him off.
She... Wait. Which I guess I didn't... What? No. Mirror shard?
His body. It didn't look real. And his throat. It looked like his throat had been cut. And I didn't see his glasses. He has these thick glasses. He doesn't always wear.
What? Huh?
On his throat. How?
See, here she's like, how? But here she knew exactly. I'm so confused. I'm really so confused right now.
Like I said before, it was 3, something like that. I walked in, saw Simon. He was on the floor of the living room. His throat had been cut. There was a lot of blood. Yeah, he was dead.
I'm gonna look up that business partner of his, Eric.
He was wearing a shirt, with a blue turtleneck shirt and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. He had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, like Paddington Bear. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
But he would have taken what with him? Sorry, I wasn't paying
He
attention.
was wearing
Coat. Like Paddington Bear. Okay.
Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one.
Silver is
He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash, but Eric convinced him to get one. Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
So Diane is Eric's wife. I wrote her name down as well. I want to look up the watch as well. I'll do Diane first. I have watch written down already.
Diane is really nice. She helps out with the glaziers, organises the Christmas party, that sort of thing. They have 2 kids, really sweet kids. She used to look out for me when I worked there. I mean, not really. He would go to the pub. He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever really came back to the house. Sometimes Eric, his boss, and his wife would come over for dinner. That would be us returning the favour. Diane is a really good cook, into her trendy ingredients. And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef, he got the recipe off CFAX, and I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines. I had to find fennel from the supermarket. Have you ever eaten fennel?
Have you ever eaten fennel? Why did I get an achievement for that?
Simon and Eric arguing? No, I can't imagine they'd be arguing. And they get on so well. Unless it was something to do with work. Maybe Simon was being too much of a perfectionist. But I don't know. You should ask Diane.
I'm gonna look up the Glaziers. She's mentioned that multiple times. Then I'll go to the watch. Then I'll do... I think I'll go back after that and go back to the attic and dollhouse stuff that I didn't do. Find out more about, like, this twin situation.
A mobile phone? Yeah. Well, they have one for the Glaziers, but it's only for work. I can't remember the number. Oh, it's in the kitchen. I saw it plugged into its charging cradle. We couldn't afford our own place. Simon dropped out of school, went full-time at the Glaziers. That was Eric's generosity. We moved in with his mum and dad. They had a spare room for us and the baby, if it came. It was a nice change, time to myself, living there for those months, full of hope.
If it came, that's interesting.
And the Glaziers. I worked there some weekends and Simon had a part-time job there too. That was Eric's generosity. He was always good at helping out other people's children. Simon was quiet, more thoughtful than the other boys. Even then, he had a sense of craftsmanship. Wasn't always rushing stuff. Boys that age are just running around like headless chickens most of the time. You know? Plus, he had that look. He looked like a fairy tale prince from one of my books.
She loves fairy tales, doesn't she? That's another thing to look up. I have a few things I want to look up now. Watch, baby, fairy tale, and then the attic stuff.
It happened very quickly. We hardly had to talk to each other. We agreed almost silently. The baby was what mattered. We'd help each other. We cleaned up. We bagged up the broken mirror, her clothes. They're gone. We took him down to the cellar. We knew we had an alibi, and we wanted the body to be found later. We wanted to have suspicion on us so we could then disprove it rather than have it linger. Better to keep the body in the house than risk being seen with it. The watch, that was my touch to make sure the alibi stuck.
She's very like I, we. Huh. Baby, alibi. There's just, it's so much. I'm like all over the place. I feel like this is getting more filled in, isn't it?
No. I lost the baby. I had a miscarriage at 8 months.
Oh.
We carried on living at Simon's parents until, well, it was only a few months after.
Wait, so she lost the baby. Hannah, this is Hannah. I'm pretty sure. This is Hannah. She lost her baby. So the one here in this orange who was getting morning sickness, that's Eve. And Eve is pregnant. Maybe?
It was after dinner. I'd spoken to Simon's parents on the phone. I looked up for an early night and I suddenly had this thought. I think it was something his mum had said. She'd been speaking about old stuff, sad stuff, about when we lived there, about the baby. There's some boxes in the cellar, nursery stuff we never needed and I never had the heart to throw out. And I suddenly remembered that when I'd looked down there the week before, those boxes, that pile was in the wrong place. I went cold all over. I went down there with a torch and went straight to the back, and that's when I saw the bin bags. Pulled them open, saw the body. I screamed and that's when I called the police.
Wait, what? I'm confused. Wait, here it's 8. That's 8, right? 20 is 8. 8:54. See, like, I'm so...
Yes. It was a shock to him. I mean, we never thought it was possible. I don't know what he... I mean, I hadn't decided whether to keep the baby. I wasn't really ready to talk to him about it.
Wait, so she was saying she lost the baby. And she's talking about, I don't know if I want to keep the baby. What? Race back. Crack with class. I don't know, like there has to be something. I don't know. My mind is all over the place.
No. The whole thing was wrong. The bags, I think they were from our kitchen, you can probably check that. We never go into the cellar. It's just a place we put things we don't need. Dad used to grow mushrooms there. The bags were taped up. I think it was parcel tape, but I think it was ours. Well, fine. considering. I got back into the house today, and that was weird, knowing your people had been there through my things. It's like I'd been burgled. I mean, worse, obviously. I don't know. I haven't lived in the cellar yet. They sent a cleaner in. As good as new, he said. But they had to throw some stuff out. Couldn't get the blood out. And I'm still waiting to hear from the coroner so we can get a date set for the funeral. It's going to be a cremation. So... When will the police let me back in the house? And they let me take a bag of clothes with me, but...
When will they let me back in the house? She said that on the 27th of June. Okay, and then she did get back in the house.
Okay. I parked up in the street. It was busy, so I had to park down the end of the road. Walked up, knocked on the door, no answer. I took my keys out of my bag and unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. You can tell because the key doesn't turn when you try to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes in the shoe rack. I shouted out. I walked straight into the kitchen because he usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper, but he wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly in the living room. Nothing. So I walked upstairs to the bedroom and he wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. I had a shower. The phone rang whilst I was in the shower. I didn't answer it. I think it was Eric. Then I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, though I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. This time I spoke to him. Then I called Doug and Eleanor. And then I decided to come and see you. Don't know.
Huh. Doug and Eleanor. I know I have to, there's one more to look at, but I'm just gonna...
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down the end of the road. I walked up to the house. I knocked on the door. No answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes on the shoe rack.
Wait, what?
I shouted out for him. I walked
This is
straight
the
into
same-
the kitchen. He usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper. He wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold.
This is the exact same thing
I
she
looked
just
quickly
said.
into the living room. Nothing. I walked upstairs to the bedroom. He wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there.
But this time, when she's saying it,
Then I had a shower.
she seems
Whilst I was in the
annoyed.
shower,
She doesn't seem
phone
like the
rang. I
same.
think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents. And then I decided to come and see you.
That's the only thing that's different.
I don't know.
See, like, this is the exact same thing she just said here, but different. So this one, she mentioned talking to Doug and Eleanor. This one mentions Simon's parents. So I'm gonna look at Doug and Eleanor first, and then... Simon's parents after.
Yeah. I've been round to Doug and Eleanor's and they're very worried. I feel sorry for them. I hoover, I dust every week. Maybe less. I once asked Eleanor how often I should dust and she said, if people ask, tell them you do it once a week. but every few weeks is okay. I think she was just trying to make me feel better. I mean, when I was there, she was hoovering every day, ran an ordered house. You know how that generation is, putting on a brave front. She has secret stashes of cigarettes. Doug doesn't even know she smokes. When I was there, I saw her. She has these sort of porcelain vases, ornamental, next to the Reader's Digest books. Cigarettes inside. And she still has them. I mean, last time I was there, I looked in a vase. There was a fresh pack. I mean, all those years of marriage, and she still has a secret like that.
Secrets, huh?
1984 was an awful year in the end. We were living at Doug and Eleanor's. I lost the baby at the end of spring and my parents died in the summer. It was a hot summer, a heat wave. So when they discovered the bodies, it was just awful. Because of the circumstances, them dying together like that, they brought in a lot of police.
Them together?
Forensic entomologist. I had to look that up. It was because of the heat. It's just awful.
They died in 84? Not 94? Huh, so this wasn't recent. Like, this is like an old...
This is the third day running you've called me in. I speak to Doug and Eleanor every day. And they say you've been asking a lot of questions. About me. Should I be worried? Am I a suspect?
Yes, clearly. I'm gonna search his parents. So this isn't a recent crime that happened. This was 10 years ago?
Yes. I inherited it from my parents, so it made sense to move back. Me and Simon. Felt like going back to old ways before the pregnancy.
She lost the baby in
Reminded me of a
84.
little girl, a dollhouse in the attic, old things.
But then
We didn't sleep in my parents' bedroom for a long time.
she's saying she's
We
pregnant now.
decorated it as soon as we moved in, but it was another year before we started sleeping there.
Weird. I'm more confused now as she mentioned 1984. Because here, she had like all the morning sickness. She's like, I'm pregnant. This is 94.
Simon's parents offered to put me up, but I didn't think it would be a good idea. It would be too sad. Not right now.
She's talking
I'm
about it.
staying at a friend's.
It'd be too sad not right now, which makes me think it recently happened. So... Chat? Hello? How's it going down there? Are you done? I don't know. How do I enter a message? I can't type. I don't know. No, I can only write no. Okay, I'll hang a bit longer. Buzz when you're ready. Am I at the end? Hey, you done? No. Okay, take your time. So... Huh. Am I towards the end? Do I have all the information I need? I want to look at the... attic stuff.
Yes. I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play up there and make up our own stories. I'm not sure where the dollhouse came from. I don't know if it was given to them or they inherited it. I mean, they wouldn't have had the money to buy it. It was so huge. It must have been taken up to the attic in parts and then reassembled up there. It's a beautiful thing. Wallpaper to scale, little furniture, the lights work, mirrors, beds, big duvets and pillows. We spent hours and hours playing in it, invented all these characters and families who lived there. We wrote paperwork for them all, passports, diaries, and gave them all really elaborate stories. Once, a moth got trapped in there. We'd left a light on. It was making the most horrendous noise. We tried to kill it, but it was tough. We ended up crushing it under a copy of the Arabian Nights. The legal stuff was completed very quickly. Hannah moved back in with Simon. Eric gave Simon the week off to help with the move. He decorated, modernised wallpaper, curtains. Hannah insists the attic be left as it was, dollhouse and all. Simon never went up there.
Huh. Like it's getting filled in. Sorry. The picture, the way it's drawn, just reminded me of the books we used to read as children. I read those fairy tales over and over, and they were so real to me. Rapunzel was my favourite. My brain is just full of it. Are any of these in colour? See, I can't help but feel like that's Eve. So I feel like Eve is the one who loves the fairy, like, is more obsessed with the fairy tales. Simon never cheated on me. He was devoted to me, and I was devoted to him. Nothing in life is easy. We were good to each other. Life isn't a fairy tale. You do what you can. Well, she wasn't my real mother, but she raised me. Do you want to hear the story? Yes. It's a real life fairy tale. Fairy tales. Stories about lost princesses, evil witches, magical mirrors and lost children. So you see, even before I knew the truth, I'd found it in those stories. Did I pass? Sorry, I messed it up with all that Rapunzel stuff. Do you need me to do that card again? What? Weird. Like I want to get. There's so much I don't know. Okay. I still don't really know who killed him. If it was her or the other one. Staring out of the window. She's sad. She's trapped. She's here. She's looking out the window because her mother won't let her out. So I think they're doing like one of those psychology tests on her there. Having her look at an image and say what she sees. I would have been a good mother. I was young, but I would have been a good mother. She was a girl, by the way, the baby. We were going to call her Sarah. Sarah?
Simon wanted to call her Ava after his nana, but I didn't want her to have a symmetrical name.
I wonder why. No. There was that diary of Florence from way back when that I just completely didn't really pay much attention to.
He doesn't keep a diary. That's my thing. I've kept one, well, as long as I can remember, since I was a girl. Helps make sense of my day. And when you're forced to put something into words, it just gives you perspective. Everyone's on the same page.
I wonder if I should search like this here. I'll do it after.
When I was 8, Mother died. She slipped down the stairs.
Slipped or was pushed?
It was an accident.
I
had read a diary at that point and I knew she wasn't my real mother. So I burned the diary that day and I left. Walked out and across the street.
Ooh.
Just became our way of life. We would swap places and take it in turns to do things. And we were very careful. Whoever had been out that day would come back and write a detailed diary so that we were on the same page. We had a list of rules that said what we could and couldn't do in any given situation. It was exhaustive. We lived a second life through those rules. Rules for things that could only ever happen inside our imaginations. We would consider all the permutations of future events and agree rules to walk our way through them.
Interesting. I'll go back to that in a minute. She just keeps saying more. I feel like there's more.
Okay. She's being chased. They're trying to catch her because she did something bad. I guess she broke the rules. Or maybe they think she did something bad. Maybe it wasn't her fault. She looks scared, not guilty. Maybe it was mistaken identity. Did they catch her there? I don't know.
Mistaken identity, you say?
Hannah was so smitten with Simon. She started getting jealous, didn't want to share. Even the first date. We went to see Tom Cruise at the Old Odeon. We both went, kept changing places in the toilet. We only had the one best dress, so we had to keep swapping clothes. Must have thought we had terrible bladder problems. The next date, it was my turn.
What?
At the end, I let him kiss me. But that was it. We didn't want another card on our hands, and the Ouija board had said to hold back.
The Ouija board said?
After that, it was Hannah's turn, and she slept with him. Broke the rules. Deliberately broke the rules. She wanted to be the first to sleep with him.
What the heck? This is messed up.
I mean, that's when she got pregnant. From that one time. It lasted about 6 months. I tried to carry on, but everything was different. Hannah insisted I not pretend to be her around Simon, let alone sleep with him. We didn't share him like the others. The rules had changed. Me living in the attic had become weird in a way it hadn't been before.
This whole thing is very bizarre. So they're dating the same people? Hmm. 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 I never looked up Carl. Carl was... So now I'm confused. Now I don't know who's who. I'm pretty sure Hannah... Eve is the one who was in the attic. Eve was the one separated. Huh. But they were both dating Simon. Taking turns. So weird.
Was he my first? No need to be so coy. No, he wasn't my first. That would have been Carl. He was a local boy in a band. He was a bit of a shit. But he was sexy. We were 15.
A little young, but okay.
Family. So, Carl fucked off, and then there were other boys here and there, and then Simon.
Hmm.
Differences? She's a better driver than me. She passed the test for us. I tried to take it and nearly crashed the car. Learned that you can't rely on confidence to get you through everything. She is the shy one. She was especially shy around boys. If Hannah liked a boy, I would have to pursue him. It was that way with Carl. Hannah met him first. She had such a crush. I let him take my virginity after a night that his band had played at. It got difficult. When I was with Carl, we would have sex, but Hannah couldn't let him see she was a virgin. She had lots of excuses. After a while, we decided that I should take Hannah's virginity.
What?
It's not that different to a bruise, pulling a tooth, a graze.
What?
We used a hairbrush. After that, we took it in turns, though. I was always the one who seduced the boys. Until Simon.
What? What kind of messed up... What are they doing? Oh my god. So it seems like they're constantly switching. I don't know. I'm putting in... Trying to find stuff that I haven't seen yet. No. Seeing if it would come up. I don't know though. Still says it's like missing. There's stuff missing still. Market, if you're working from a printed transcript. It was me.
What did your wife do? She didn't kill you. You think I killed Simon because he was having an affair? Well, I didn't kill him. I wasn't even there. I was in Glasgow worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me. I mean, why would I kill Simon? I loved him.
Huh. Interesting. Something just started popping up when I was typing that.
An affair. Simon wasn't having an affair.
He was with your sister.
You're reaching here. And I don't know why. No, I've never cheated on anyone. I've never taken anything from anyone. Simon is dead. But I have my baby to care for. Why are you trying to make me sad? Why are you so obsessed with sex and affairs? You cheated on your wife. Is this your thing?
Hmm.
Mum and Dad never knew what was going on. Got so good at it. We were so in sync that we'd use each other to cheat. If one of us had a hangover, the other one would go to school. Whoever was best at a subject would sit the exam. There were lots of differences between us. Some things one is better than the other at.
I guess they were able to do that only because they had been separated and the parents didn't want Eve. They only wanted Hannah. You know? Should I spell it the British way? Yeah. So, the reason they were able to switch and sit in with each other, for each other, was because the parents didn't know that there were the two of them. They only wanted the one or something. I don't know. This is so weird.
Yeah, when I was at school. I worked part-time in the front shop. It was sort of an extended family thing. My dad used to work there, my mum worked there before I was born. I took care of paperwork, filing, typing out invoices, that kind of thing. It was a good job for a girl back then. I didn't work a till or anything though, I was quite shy, so I wouldn't have liked to have worked a till.
So she's Hannah. She's shy.
Mum and Dad had never had any reason to notice. They were always busy. If Hannah was eating a lot, they didn't mind. She didn't put on any weight. That girl has a healthy appetite. If they heard us talking in the attic, they just thought it was Hannah playing one of her games, and that Eve was our imaginary friend. Once, she was already up and dressed and ready to go to school, and I snuck down for a piss. Mum saw me in my underwear, she went mad. Get dressed this instant! So I ducked into our bedroom, and seconds later, out came Hannah, dressed and ready. My mum was amazed.
I access 50% of the database. That's it? Only 50%. Are you for serious? Hmm.
No, they were shut. Most of the windows were really hard to open anyway. They're stifling in summer. They were painted over by my dad. Could have left a door open accidentally. Or there's a cat flap in the back door.
Oh, the cat flap is the doggy door. That's what that is. They call it cat
No,
flap, I
no
guess.
cat. My parents had a cat before they died called Domino. It was this little black thing with white dots. And we never did anything about the cat flap, but if you were thin, you could maybe squeeze through it.
Hmm. Interesting.
We loved our cat, Domino. He had this little bell around his neck to stop him from killing birds in the garden. And we used to write each other notes and put them in the bell, and we could send them to each other. Mum found some of the notes once, and she thought I was just writing to myself because our handwriting was identical. And we had our own words for things, so she didn't quite understand them anyway.
Hmm. This is crazy. Identical. I know, I looked up twin already, I think. Yeah. Brown.
I mean, what if they were crazy? You hear about these crazy people all the time. I mean, why would anyone who knew Simon want to kill him?
Oh boy, oh boy. I'm not... Simon... I want to hear more about, like, that beach incident where she tried to drown her. I think Hannah tried to drown Eve.
Nothing else happened that night. We talked, then I said goodbye. Then next week I was singing in the bar again, and there he was. And again the next week, he offered to buy me a meal. I told him I had already eaten, and so we got chips and ate them on the beach instead. When we said goodbye, he asked me to kiss him. Romantic.
Romantic. I got an achievement for that. I was gonna look something up. I forgot. How do you spell Ouija? She mentioned a Ouija board before. I don't know how to spell it though. Why'd I just take a screenshot? That was weird. Okay. I do want to take a look at the stuff in the trash bin. Jealous. Envy. No. I'm trying to... I want to... I don't know. Like, I feel like there's stuff I'm missing here.
Are you sure? What would he be doing in Oxford if there was no conference? I remember calling him. He said it was boring and he spent most of the time at the bar.
See, I can't tell if they were continuing to switch while they were married to him. Like, were they still switching at that point, or is only one of them married to him? I can't tell which one killed him.
I told her it was one of my boyfriends, someone I had met in the bar.
It could have been Hannah, actually, only because she did mention, I'm pretty sure it was Hannah who said she wanted to kill Eve and she held her underneath the water and hoped to drown her. So it could be, like, you'd think it was Eve because Eve is more, like, intense. But it might be Hannah. Hannah might have been the one who killed him. I don't know, though.
I think she was happy. But I could tell she was thinking, why couldn't it happen to her and Simon?
What was she talking about? There's one of my boyfriends.
In the bar.
Oh, she's talking about being pregnant, I think.
I think she was happy. But I could tell she was thinking, why couldn't it happen to her and Simon? They were the ones with the real life. Why not them?
I want to look up. So I think Hannah is the one who is actually married to Simon.
No, he was as shy as me. I asked a friend to ask him out for me. We had our first date at the Odeon in North End. We went to see Risky Business. I had on my one best dress. Simon paid. He bought me a Whisper, and I was worried about getting chocolate on my teeth. There was a conference, something to do with double glazing, in Oxford. It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon. No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford.
Huh. Did something pop up just there? I'm gonna do conference after that. It's just so I don't forget.
When we weren't together, we'd send secret messages by tapping out a code that we'd learned from a book, the knock code.
The knock code.
Something prisoners of war would use. We'd tap them out on radiator pipes or the attic floor.
That's what she was doing before when she was like, why did I talk about Eve? And she started tapping.
Dad thought we had mice, but they couldn't find any. Bought a cat anyway.
Huh. So she was doing that when she was like, why did I talk about Eve? Knock code. What does the code mean? What does the knocking mean? Like, she did it, but why? What does it mean? That's not helping me. Let's see. I'm just putting some random words in at this point. Just trying to get as much of the story as possible before I end.
She's crying, I guess. She's sad because she thought she saw her husband with another woman. But it's okay, because she finds out it wasn't her husband, it was his brother.
Or his wife, not his sister.
That's fine.
Sisters. Huh. Something keeps popping up. It's freaking me out. Argument. I feel like I just keep seeing the outline of a person back here.
There's married couple stuff. A stupid argument, nothing specific. No one knows how to push your buttons better than those you're close to. Yes. He left after the argument. It was about 8 o'clock.
Eight.
I think when I drove back it was about 8 or something. And I got back to the house about 3. think so. I mean, to get into our garden, we'd have to climb through other gardens. All the gardens back onto each other, so you'd have to climb over 1, 2, 3 gardens to get to ours. I mean, did anyone see anything? Did anyone see anyone come and go? An intruder? I think it was that time, the first time at the house, in his bed, that I got pregnant. Amazing, right? This fucking magic sperm.
Okay.
And they say lightning doesn't strike twice. I didn't tell him. I missed 3 periods. I had pretty irregular periods anyway, but 3. I had always thought we were infertile. Both of us. I didn't tell him. Just waited. Hannah and I were meeting for our birthday, and I told her because I thought she would be happy for us both. I think she was.
Huh. So I think it flashes when I'm coming close, I guess, to the garden.
Yeah. I mean, I was infertile. Thought I was. They told me I was infertile after the miscarriage because of complications. Hannah had a miscarriage. This was late in the pregnancy and it left her infertile. Felt like the universe had corrected its course.
She seems really happy about that.
But Hannah and Simon were still living with his parents. They were married. Simon had a job at the Glaziers now. Derek had given him a full-time position after he left school. And then
Huh.
Then my parents died. It was the worst year of my life. A miscarriage and then my parents.
Huh.
Yeah. They'd gone to bed feeling ill, thinking it was flu or something. The neighbour called me, I had to use my key to let them in. We found them dead in their bed. And they'd been there for days. No one had noticed. Just awful. It was so soon after my miscarriage, the worst year of my life. I'd been so happy to get married, and after that it was just like, fuck. Good. Happy. I mean, ups and downs like any couple, I guess, but we've been married for over 10 years. Childhood sweethearts. Something like that. Are you married, detective? When you've been married for 10 years, stuff accumulates. We could argue about anything. And he's so nice. That doesn't help. He tries to smooth things over, and that just makes it worse. We're both passive aggressive, so we never normally argue directly about anything.
Huh. That's not how you spell that. Argue. Hmm.
If one of us got hurt, the other one would have to be hurt too. A grazed knee, a bruise. When I lost my tooth first, we had to pull out Hannah's to match. Once, I slept with a boy who was seeing another girl. The girlfriend came up to Hannah the next day and punched her in the face, gave her a huge black eye. That night, she had to do the same to me. But she almost went too far. I couldn't see out of that eye for days. But she snapped a frozen piece up for me from the kitchen. So much of our bodies was synchronized anyway. We started our period on the same day. All our childhood diseases, stomach bugs, nits.
I don't know. I don't know what else to do. Did this already. I'm at the point, I think. I'm pretty sure it was Hannah who did it.
Okay, you got me. I'll confess. We were there. It was a dirty weekend. Simon was going to expense it, pretend it was a business trip. I used a made-up name. We stayed at the hotel, had room service, didn't leave the room. Had a great view of the river, and you could hear the church bells. Like you said, it was very romantic.
I'm just looking up words that I had written down that I just hadn't looked up yet. That's basically what I'm doing right now. Just trying to fill in as many blanks as possible. But I'm at the point where I'm not sure how much left there is. I mean, I know there is a lot, but I can't. I don't know how to find it. Long hair. I don't know. Long blonde. Blonde for a guy. No. Silver. Thing.
Really? Okay. Here's the rest.
Oh, the rest of the song.
Laid a body on the dock to dry. Oh, the wind and the rain. Till a fiddler with a fiddle came walking by. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made a fiddle bow of her long hair. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made a fiddle bow of her long blonde hair. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he made fiddle pegs of her finger bows. Oh, the wind and the rain. Yes, he made fiddle pegs from her finger bows. Oh, the dreadful wind and rain. And he
This is the wildest song ever.
The only tune that the fiddle could play was "Oh, the wind and the rain." Yes, the only tune that the fiddle could play was "Oh, the dreadful wind and rain." Anything you sing may be used as evidence against you.
Wow. As far as I never looked up evidence, it seems...
Rehearsed? You ask me the same question, you'll get the same answer.
Oh.
Is that your evidence? Of course I thought about what happened then. It's all I've thought about. My husband is dead.
Huh. Dead. Play.
It's all that matters, really. The baby. Simon's dead, but the baby, that's how he will live on.
But you're infertile,
Our
aren't you?
baby.
Isn't she... She's infertile, but Eve is not. I don't know. Rain? It's probably gonna be... I'm looking up words from the song. Bones.
Mother wanted me to grow my hair long, but I kept cutting it myself. I wanted to look like my reflection. She always had short hair when she was little. Mother would hide the scissors, but I would find a way. Cut it with a bread knife, something like that. My reflection would always leave her house and go on adventures, but I never could. Mother taught me at home, and I had books and TV. Oh, TV was magical, but it was only on when it wanted to be, so I spent a lot of time reading books.
So that was when she was with Florence. That was before she and Hannah. So she's talking about her reflection. She's talking about Hannah. She's like, my reflection got to do this. That's Hannah. I'm gonna do that, but I also want to look up books before I forget.
Yes. The first time we saw each other, it was strange. We both realised at the same moment, I think. We must have seen each other before, but there was this instant when we first realised it wasn't a reflection. The reflection was staring back. I think I was 5. It was my birthday. My reflection was wearing a party hat and waving. I knew what party hats were from books. And it suddenly occurred to me, today must be my birthday. I waved back and we just spent ages waving at each other and copying each other's movements.
Huh.
I wanted to see my reflection. I thought that if I touched her, something would happen. We would become one. One girl. The fairy tale was over, the witch was dead, and I'd be restored to my rightful place.
Which, my mother called me Eve. I was just, I don't know, maybe. That's not how I spell that. No. No. Bad. Code. I'm running out of things to look up. It's getting hot. Also, I'm getting hot. I might stop soon. I feel like I kind of have an idea of what's going on and what happened. I could be wrong though. I don't have everything, so I don't know.
They said it was food poisoning. There was something in the food they ate. My dad liked to pick mushrooms, grow them too. They said it was the mushrooms. It was hard to believe. Death caps. They have a skirt around the cap. My dad taught me that. But, I mean, the police had no reason to think it was suspicious. They lived alone. And no one had any reason to hurt them.
Are you sure about that? Were the parents murdered too? What? Mushroom?
I was living in the attic. It was a very hard time. I was depressed, was still pretty sick of the STD. And I came down one morning and they were dead.
I think Hannah killed everybody.
They were in bed and both had been sick. They'd thrown up a lot. And I slept through it. The police said it was the mushrooms they ate. Dad was a mushroom expert. I mean, he used to take us picking with him and he taught us how to recognise them. And there's no way you would have picked death caps.
Yeah, but Hannah would have.
But the police believe that's what happened. They never even looked in the attic.
So the parents were killed too?
At the time they said it was poison, food poisoning. I mean, I felt so guilty. If I'd still been at home, maybe I could have done something. I didn't.
I don't know. I feel like Hannah's the one. I could be wrong. I don't know. I think it's Hannah. What was I gonna look up? I was gonna look up something, just regular poison.
I got a job to contribute, you know. Doug knew someone and I got a job as a dinner lady at the primary school. They said it didn't matter if I could cook or not, just don't poison the kids. So you see, It's always been complicated between me and Simon. It's never just been the two of us. There's always been pressure.
Hmm. No. Hmm. Huh. I don't know. Um,
Yes, I'll take a lie detector test.
hmm.
I've never taken a lie detector test before. Does it really work? My name. That was the only question I failed. Your lie detector works.
Because here was her lie detector.
Yes, my name is Hannah Smith. Oh, shit. Sorry.
Test. Hmm. No. I'm really running out of things here. Like, I've managed to find some other stuff. But, man. Hard. Hmm. No. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws now. I don't know. Huh. I could just go right into the rubbish bin. But I'm just gonna... Oh, I guess they would call it cellar, but I already did cellar. Hmm. Yeah, I'm looking at, like, words I've written down. I don't know. Oh, here's one.
Well, she has a knife. She's been cooking, I guess. She's been cooking him his favourite meal. She's his wife. And he's asleep and she doesn't want to wake him. because he's ill. That's why she's sad. Because he's ill and he might die.
What? Is this Hannah?
It's kind of a sad story, so I'm not sure it ends.
Yeah, I can't tell. When she's wearing long sleeves, I can't tell who's who.
Can you imagine? I tried. I tried to get pregnant too, but it didn't happen. I slept with so many boys, men. My body refused. I think my period stopped because hers had. I was pretty ill. I mean, how could we stay the same now? I felt like Hannah had really fucked things up. Set us down separate paths. We had become different.
Huh.
I thought it made me sound suspicious. It's not a normal thing to do, to drive to the other end of the country. I wanted to keep it simple. I know it was stupid not to tell you everything. Saying I spent the night in Glasgow when my husband went missing, I thought it would, distract you from what was important. It's different now. Now he's...
Husband. Right, there's a couple here.
I haven't been into work. I guess I've just been waiting to hear from you, hear from my husband.
Huh.
When you suspect someone of murdering their husband.
I think we looked up murder already. Suspect.
Okay. So you want to eliminate me as a suspect? That should eliminate me as a suspect. If I was in Glasgow, can't be in two places at once.
Yes, you can. I can't tell which of them was in Glasgow and which was not. This one is pregnant. It has to be Eve. Because Hannah had a late miscarriage and that made her infertile. So I feel like... I'm pretty convinced at this point that it's Hannah. I don't know. I don't know what these things do. Maybe I'll try a couple more things and then I'm gonna go into the rubbish bin and look because I can't think of anything else. Okay, saw these things. Yeah, I think I'm hitting a wall. I don't know if there's much more I could do. I think did that already. I figured. Secrets. Right. I think I'm gonna go in here. Player one. What is? What am I doing here? I'm not so sure what this is. Mirror tiles. There has to be like something in here, right? I feel like I'm just doing random stuff right now, but I feel like there has to be something in this. Maybe I could just look up hack. No. What is that? Grace? Grace.
When beautiful people died, we always felt like it was a sign. You remember Princess Grace? Grace Kelly? She died in a car crash the year before we met Simon. We used a Ouija board to speak to her, and that gave us the power to find him. That's what we thought then. That people who died tragically leave some kind of magic behind. We used to share dreams. We used to wake up and write them down in our diaries immediately and compare them.
Okay. Magic. Mirror game. One for the moms here. Classic 2-player strategy for lunchtime gaming. Enjoy. Cracks with class. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Maybe if I finish this, it'll do something. Player 2 wins. Oh. That's really all that is? Like, I feel like... Player... No. Yeah, I'm at a dead end. I am at the dead end. Yeah. I'm running out of things. I can't think of anything else to do. Here. I'm at a loss. Transfer the videos, 1999. Y2K. I mean, I doubt that has anything to do with anything. I'm like, why would I even search Y2K? It has nothing to do with anything. SB. Yeah. I think I need to stop. Finished? Yes. Good. So you think you understand why your mother did what she did? My mother? Wait, are we the child? Do I say yes or no? Wait. We are the child that she's pregnant with right now. My mother is Eve. Right? Huh. Okay, wait, there's more here.
He has a wallet, a huge silly thing, leather, real leather, I think. He packs it full of stuff, business cards, receipts, lottery tickets. He always carries it in his back pocket. I think that's why he's got a bad back. Offsets the discs. I haven't seen it, so he must have it on him. He always takes it out of his back pocket before, when he comes in, if he's in the house.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't know. Something must have happened to him on his way home. He could be hurt. I mean, why hasn't he phoned? I don't know.
Why is she acting like she doesn't know?
God, I don't know. Could be anyone. Maybe someone followed him back from the pub. But why would he let them in? Doesn't make sense.
Huh. Wait. Huh. Oh man. Hmm. Good. So, think you understand why your mother did what she did? No, I don't. What if I say no? That's understandable, Sarah. You can always come back again. I'll be outside. Log off and meet me over the road. Wait, my name is Sarah. Who is my mother? He goes offline. Huh. Okay. Hmm. I logged off. Sarah has logged off and crossed the road. Huh. So what? I'm sorry. I need to look it up. I'm just dumb, maybe. Let's see. I liked that game. I like games like this where it's like you have to figure out the mystery and stuff. I mean, I think I got a good idea. Sorry, it's so hot in here. The ending of the game shows that the time Eve returned, she found Hannah next to the corpse. Yeah, I figured it was Hannah. The baby of Hannah and Eve. Wait, who was murdered after he tells Hannah, who was portraying as Eve, how much he prefers Eve over Hannah. The baby of Hannah and Eve was a priority, so they hid the body of Simon and used Eve's trip to Glasgow as an alibi. At the end of the final interview, Eve tells that Hannah is gone, but mockingly, as if non-existent person can be arrested. Though it is unconfirmed if Eve being an identical twin is true. Okay. So it's possible for here, it's possible that Eve and Hannah were never twins. There was never actually a twin, and it was like a same person and two different people in one body kind of thing. I don't know what I think. What do you think? I mean, I pretty much figured Hannah was the one who killed him, and they used the trip to Glasgow as the alibi and stuff. Huh. I don't know. Yeah. So we are the child. So they did have a child. Sarah, if you're stuck, you could always try admin random or the unlock command. Oh? Let's try it. Let me go. I'm gonna just really quick. Admin... What was it again? I forgot it already. Am I dumb? Database unlocked. Worry maximum now set to 15. That would have been nice to know beforehand. So here's one I didn't see.
Yes, it was a cremation for the best. We both wore black and had veils, so it was easy. And after the funeral, everyone came back to the house. Hannah served up sandwiches, and I stayed out of sight. Thanks. Please find Simon. I love him so much.
Oh, so this was before he was missing. If it was found that he was murdered, she killed him. Or they killed him. I guess it depends on who you're looking at. Okay. I mean, I think I understand it now. But, yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to do. That makes sense. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop. But yeah, that was her story. I like games like this. I like mystery games. I like murder mystery things. So I enjoyed it. It was interesting. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it as well, even though my brain was all over the place searching for things. But I enjoyed it. Even though I had to look up the ending because I was still confused. But yeah, it's a good game. It was, you know, an interesting. I haven't played many FMVs, so I enjoyed it. And I hope you did too. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.